So I'm flying an airplane that is older than most of you viewers, including the engine, which is the original type of engine. The performance is sagging, the parts are becoming extinct, and each flight feels like a gamble with gravity. Now, in this video, you get to help determine the future of 2-3 uniform. I've done extensive research with not only this old engine, but also the options to upgrade, and I'd really like your feedback. So we're gonna go through the pros and cons of each, and you get to be a part of that process. Give your feedback, let me know what I should do. So let's dive right in and do this together. Hello, my name is Chris Palmer from Angle of Attack. I'm a Master Flight Instructor and Gold Seal Flight Instructor as well. This is my airplane, a 1963 172 with an original 0300D engine. This is a 145 horse engine. Now, recently, if you've been tracking with our content, I found some issues with the engine. Go back and watch that because there is actually a very heartfelt, emotional story behind this. We need to get this airplane flying again. For me, for my flight school, but also for my dear friend Daniel. We found this issue. I'm going to show you really quick. This is a quick teaser. Again, you need to go see the full video. But in taking the engine apart, this is what we found here when we were replacing this cylinder. So that whole process, again, in another video, brought on this whole conversation of what do we do about the future of 2-3 uniform. She has to fly again, but how do we do that? So I'm gonna take you through the different engine options, talk to you a little bit about my experience with the 0300D, and then we're gonna break down the other options and the other possibilities. So the 0300D is a 6-cylinder Continental, but this is 145 horse. They stopped manufacturing this engine in 1965. So any of the parts and the pieces are simply left over from that time. Now, if I can be really candid about my personal experience with this engine is even though I'm at sea level in Alaska, which typically has cooler temperatures, it doesn't offer a lot of confidence in the performance of the airplane, say in high density altitude situations or other things where I need the performance out of the airplane. You can do some little tweaks to them. You know, they are good engines. A lot of people have them in their older Cessnas. But I've been getting a lot of warning signs about this engine and just overall not feeling too comfortable about the future of it. So I've had some red flags. We had this cylinder go out. I did a video on that as well, which I'll link in the description. Had this cylinder go out, went through this process, and in the process found that part that I showed you was broken. Now, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit now, despite my warning signs with this engine, about how I've investigated this process. So I've done my logbooks with a great company called Plain Logics, and what they do is they go through all your old logbooks, they catalog them, and turn them into digital records, and so you can go search what has happened with the history of your engine. And what we found in the process of looking back into the past, again, with the help of Plain Logics, they did such a great job of this, basically did some extra forensic investigation on this, is we found that the records for this airplane weren't done very well. Since I bought it, of course, the records have been awesome, but it had what kind of looked like an overhaul. It said they went through the overhaul manual, but it wasn't very explicit in the fact that it was actually an overhaul on the engine. That in and of itself doesn't make me feel very comfortable. When you overhaul an engine, that basically makes the engine new, puts it to 0 time. It's supposed to be a very thorough method to get the engine set up for the future. There is also this thing called TBO. Basically, it's a time in which, for a particular engine, you need to overhaul the engine. The TBO on this engine is 1,800 hours. That's when they recommend that you do it, or every 12 years since your overhaul. So it's not over TBO. It's about 1,400 hours since the overhaul. Now, these lifters, you can only get to them and replace them by taking apart the entire case of the engine. So that brings up our first option, and I want to get through the options on the 0300 really quick now. The first option is what's called an IRAN. It's inspect and replace as necessary. That's what IRAN means. Now, it being a higher time engine, seeing all these warning signs, I didn't feel super great about the IRAN because I don't want to take this thing apart, only to check a couple things and put it back together. Clearly something pretty major failed, and I was very lucky to catch that on the ground. I don't want to push my luck much further with the IRAN. So then I started to talk to some overhaul companies. Okay, what are the options for overhaul for this engine? Well, it would cost between $25,000 and $30,000 to overhaul this engine that was stopped getting manufactured in 1965. The parts aren't new, so I'd have to find new parts. The overhaul shops said that the crankshaft in these, they will take apart 3 of them and only find 1 that's good. And so then you're running the risk of having to buy different cores just to find pieces and parts that are working and past the specifications. And this is already underpowered. I've kind of determined I should move on. But I want to leave that up to you too. It could be overhauled. It would act like new. It is a smooth running engine being 6-cylinder, but it is, about $30,000 open-ended in terms of the time it would take. It would take at least 12 weeks to overhaul it, have to ship it out, all that stuff, but I'd still be in at $30,000. Okay, so that's option 1, do an overhaul of the current 0300 engine. Send it in, figure it out. Option 2, as Cessna started building newer and newer airplanes, with each model, they got a little bit better every time. They'd make these little tweaks. Eventually, they made big tweaks, okay? They started putting better engines in the airplanes. There's a really common one that they used all the way through the 80s and I think even part of the 90s, but that's the 0320. The 0320 and a 150 horse, 160 horse version, really that extra horsepower and that engine is a very well-proven engine on these 172s. And even that 15 extra horsepower in this case would make a huge difference, and they fly really nicely. I'm sure many of you watching have flown them. Great engine. There are options to upgrade this particular model, 172D, to an 0320, and that cost would be between $35,000 and $50,000. You could get a new engine. That's probably on the top end of that to get a new engine. Honestly, I think that's probably a little low just based on what I've been hearing. And that process would take a handful of weeks for delivery if it were an overhauled available engine. But if you wanted a new engine, it's going to take a lot longer than that. So one of the major themes that I'm going to prove here is that engines are extremely hard to come by right now. And if I want to get this thing flying again soon, that is part of the discussion. So it could take a long time to get an 0320, $35,000 to $50,000, and an upgrade of about 15 horsepower. So option 3 is the reliable and widely available. Found out that upgrading to the 0360 on this engine or this airframe would be between $60,000 and $80,000. Okay, the $60,000 version is going to be an overhauled engine, not new. The $80,000 would be a new engine with firewall forward, which means here, this is the firewall all the way forward, all the parts, everything brand new. Okay, whole new system, whole new way of doing things. The problem is you cannot get those engines right now. In particular with the new engines, you're looking at least a year, but I'm hearing in some cases we're looking at 30 months. 30 months to get a new engine, the 0360. I'm not going to wait that long. At least I don't want to. I want to look at other options. So that is a big horsepower upgrade. We're looking at 180 horse, which really increases the capability of the aircraft, especially here in Alaska with having to deal with terrain and short takeoff landing and the smaller strips that we work in. So that's pretty attractive to me. But it comes with that, $60,000 to $80,000 price tag. That is just for the parts, not the labor as well. You're talking about a lot of time, many, many months, in some cases years, to make that process happen. Now, the plus side of the 0360 is that it's been around a long time, a very proven engine. There are a lot of parts available, and it is still being produced. So unlike the 0300, it is still getting new parts, and you can buy new parts, and parts are readily available. So that's a really good option as well. But the availability is pretty scary, and that really turns me off. Whew, I'm getting a little sweaty talking about all this. Option 4 is a little known but very reliable and modern engine, which is the IO 370. It happens that there is a place here in Alaska, Stoots Aviation, that does STCs, largely because we have a lot of these old Cessnas in Alaska, 175s, 170s, 172s that could really use a conversion. And because this 0300 is becoming obsolete, Alaska is a great place for that STC to happen. So it just so happens there's a guy here, Dave Stoots, in Alaska that does these conversions. Now, he does this conversion that they did on the AOA sweepstakes airplane. I think it was last year, a few years ago, on a 170, but it is a 195 horse IO 370 with a constant speed propeller. Going from 145 horse all the way to 195, to me, the reason why I was a little alarmed by that big of a jump, even though it would be freaking incredible for a lot of reasons, is it's just kind of outside the mission of what I do. I am a flight school. I often teach primary students. It would be a lot of horsepower to deal with for a student, and having to deal with that constant speed in the beginning as well. That conversion is fairly expensive, it being even more horsepower than the original one. And if you are interested, you just have your own personal plane and want a huge performer in a 175, a 172 or a 170, you could talk to Stoots about that in terms of what that conversion would cost you. But I really like the IO 370. I think the modern, it's built by Continental now. I think the modern fuel injection, the modern systems would be really cool on this airplane. And especially if we could get a really good prop on it, that would just be perfect. So I have been talking to Stoots as well. I've talked to Lycoming. I haven't personally really entertained much the 0320, because the 0320 is, if you're going to go that far anyway, I feel like you may as well go for the more horsepower and about the same fuel burn. So I haven't really gone that far with it. But yeah, those are the options. So we got the 0300 to do an IRAN, which I'm not going to do an IRAN. Again, inspect and replace as necessary, or do the overhaul, about $25,000 to $30,000. I think it would be more than that. The prices I'm seeing, I think, are a little obsolete. So that would be the overhaul on that, to just keep this one. Then we have the 0320. We'd be looking at between $45,000 to $60,000. Again, I think that's a little low as well. We'd be getting a bump in 5 to 15 horsepower in that case. I would go for the 15 horsepower version. And then for the third option, we're looking at the 0360, which would be about a $60,000 to $80,000 conversion. Again, without the labor, looking at a long wait time for those kits in that case. And then we have the IO 370, which there is the 195 horse version, but I kind of wonder if there is a lower horsepower version of that that could work a little bit better for my flight school. So I need to look into that. But, you know, more modern would bring 2-3 uniform into the future better, and we'd be looking at higher TBOs, all that sort of thing. So those are the options, and I really, really, really do appreciate your comments, your input. There are a lot of you out there with a lot of aviation experience, personal experience with each one of these engines. So please, in the comments, let me know what you think. I think this is a really interesting exercise, and just getting the community together, seeing what you guys think about it. I'm all ears. You know, I've already asked about that a little bit on other videos, but I am all ears. I want to know what you guys think about what we should do. Really eager to get 2-3 uniform back in the air. Of course, I want to be smart financially, also smart with my time. Time is money at the end of the day. Once I get this running, I can start making money with it again, and I can continue to show you those adventures with 2-3 uniform. So, you know, no pressure, but there's a lot of options. So yeah, thank you. And thank you for your input. That is about it. I don't want to keep you much longer. Thanks for sticking around as long as you have. And again, let me know what you think. Let's get 2-3 uniform in the air again. Go back and watch my previous videos about 2-3 uniform and the great story of her. You know, we've upgraded the panel. We've done a lot, but now it's engine time. We got to get this baby flying for Daniel again. And for those of you that know what that means to me, very, very close to my heart. If you don't know what I mean, please go watch those videos. It'll tug at your heartstrings. This is a real story. I've got to get this airplane flying again. And one of the most beautiful stories I'll ever tell on this channel. So excited to get her in the air again. Got chills just talking about this and thinking about it. So thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe so you see those future videos when I kind of dissect your comments and talk to you about what the next future steps are of 2-3 uniform. Many amazing adventures ahead, but this is our current adventure, just getting her flying again and seeing what we can do. So again, thanks for being here, and until next time, throttle on.